Alrighty, gentlemen. It's Mitch. Let's get a quick thumbs up if you can hear me. We're going to go through a bit of a slideshow today. So you won't see my face, which is good because I was up watching Bird Box and then I couldn't sleep. That movie gave me 3 hours sleep. Alrighty, gentlemen. Okay, so there should be audio. I think I got a few here. That sounds good. So I'm going to give another minute and then we'll get right to it. So I didn't really push this out much. I just wanted to make it available to group members, the people that I care about. That's you guys. John and Andy are on. Paul's on. Paul times 2 is on. Essentially, I'm going to try to open up the comment box here. So, good. I've got it. Ooh. Tech difficulties. Josh is on. My main man, Josh, who's lost 20 plus pounds. Good for him. So let's get right into it then, and people can catch up as they join. So ideally, unless you're watching this on a phone, try to put that away, right? There's too much notifications, too many distractions. I want you focused because I'm going to give you everything I got today. Jay, welcome. So who this isn't for, first off, I usually have to put this disclaimer out there because people come to me looking for something and it's not always the right fit. So Angus, welcome. So who this isn't for is that hardcore CrossFit athlete, right? Who can train 2 hours a day, has that perfect nutrition plan. It's just not the type of person I work with anymore. It's not realistic. I'm a dad. Most of you guys are family people and with careers. This approach is not my approach, nor is it realistic for most of the people I work with. So it's not for either. This guy's hilarious, by the way, but it's not for vegans. There's always the odd vegan that slips in here, and it's not my lane, so I typically would direct that person somewhere else or kick them out. Even better. I get lots of gratification from kicking them out. It's not for pro bodybuilders either, right? My approach is not of one that has you in the gym 2 hours a day, taking steroids, really going the extra mile. Nothing against these guys. It takes a lot of commitment, and I've dabbled in trying to train like a bodybuilder in the past. You can get muscular, have a good physique, but you don't have to go to these lengths, and I'm not the guy to help you do it either. So who this is for, this grainy picture of me and Quinn in the pool, is, your dads, your average guy who's got a career and a busy life and is just trying to get a little bit better, a little bit healthier, a little more confident. Right? That's what it's all about. Daryl, welcome. So what we're talking about today is that holiday weight gain, how to shift course in January and make 2019 your best year of dieting ever, right? So this is a graphic that shows, 3 major countries, first world countries, Japan, US, and Germany. That big spike in the middle is the weight gain people typically see between Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. And even though they gradually lose that weight, you can see by the end of the chart that it doesn't fully come off ever, right? Just compounds each year, a few pounds here and there. I know because you guys are in this group, you are the good ones who aren't going to be part of this stat, but there's still a way, a right way and wrong way. Neil Scottish, lad, is on as well. Love that name. So first up, let's get this out of the way because the world is not set up for you to lose weight, right? First off, most of us are so busy. We're eating out a lot. In fact, this study suggests that half the time people are actually getting food on the go or having a snack or eating in a restaurant, and only half of their meals averaged out to these 3 groups are at home cooked, right? So this is definitely a barrier because knowing what you're eating in a restaurant is a bit of a crapshoot. Obviously, fast food is going to set you back if you're eating too much of that. So it's about trying to find more balance in your meals so you're eating more of the stuff you make yourself. The other issue is we are bombarded with advertisements for these really calorie-dense foods that trigger stuff in our brain to want it, right? And obviously, it never looks or tastes as good as it does in the commercials. But this is very hard to avoid, right? We have apps on our phone that with a few clicks of a button can deliver us food, right? It makes it so easy nowadays to make the wrong choices. So you really have to set up your environment for success, and I'll get into that shortly. But we are going to talk about the right way today. Not the wrong way. No one wants to know the wrong way. Just give me a thumbs up if you're still in action here. So we're talking about the 3 biggest barriers I see to losing weight the right way. A lot of people can lose weight. Typically, it's short term. That's the problem, because the approach they're on is not sustainable, or they fall back into old habits. So you kind of have to find that middle ground that works best for you. So number 1 barrier for most of us is time. Even if you spend your time playing video games, you still are limited in this area. And after Grace was born, my second, in May, I found time got even more limited. And I had to make some changes to how I approached exercise and diet, right? I was used to packing a bunch of meals, spending an hour and a half in the gym, and all this kind of went by the wayside. I couldn't actually do that anymore. So what I did with this is a 4-step process, right? It became an experiment with myself, because I found that first month after Grace was born, I put on a few pounds, to put it mildly. And I had to find a new solution that would work with my new reality. So the 4 areas I worked on: less reliance on willpower. So I set up my environment. I deleted the food delivery apps on my phone. I tried to avoid marketing messages, right? So I was not watching as much TV. I had an ad blocker on my computer. And I took pretty much everything that was junk food related out of my house. And I was going to be working from home more. So I had to set it up for success, right? Because if I looked in the pantry and found something appetizing, sooner or later, the law would state that I would eat that, right? So I did my best to, minimize the need to restrict and willpower my way through the day. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the workouts I did. I had to kind of overhaul them, right? And you may have seen my article on Men's Health that was essentially based around these supersets, right? Antagonist supersets. And that's really, really focused my training so that I could get in and out in 40 minutes, including shower time. So very effective workouts, not scrolling my phone in between sets, and keeping my heart rate going, but still getting enough volume to elicit muscle, which is what I'm about. So that was number 2. 3, I simplified diet. I used to be a guy who would track my calories, macros, put food on the scale. Simon, welcome. And that was no longer realistic, or at least I didn't feel it was realistic. So what I did was focused on keeping it simple. I only had 4 rules to follow: protein with every meal, veggies with every meal, water with every meal. And then I had a simple portion guide I followed as well. So that was it. I only packed 1 meal a day, which was lunch. And in fact, now that I'm at home, I can typically have that pre-prepared in the fridge and grab it. So you're not packing Tupperware in this case. There's not a lot of food prep. I would just make up my lunches on Sundays. And then dinners was a food delivery service at times, but usually just whatever was with the family, fitting it in to my portion guide. So the 4th one, this is important. People overlook this. They think, oh, I'll just download a plan off the internet and follow it. But rarely do we do that. When it's just us in the game, we tend to self-sabotage, right? So what I did is that, my whole program is built around that group experience, accountability to obviously me as the coach, also the teammates that you have throughout the different challenges we do. And I was lacking that. So I actually enlisted a coach, just a fellow trainer I work with. I actually provided his nutrition at times. So just by offloading that accountability, I was able to follow a plan without overthinking it, and lost 12 pounds. between June and July. Got down to the lowest body fat I've been in a long time just by following these 4 steps. So that's barrier 1 is time. Make it simple for yourself, and I'll get more into that in as we go along. Number 2, though, this is big because the internet provides us with a lot of information, but it's also confusing, right? And what looks like resistance is a lack of clarity. So what does that mean? Well, just as a point here, there was a study done in a grocery store where one day they were selling 24 different jams on this display table. The other day they were selling 6 jams. And of course, which led to more sales? Well, the options, the less option one, number 6, right? When they only had 6 jams on display, they sold more because we only have so much decision-making power in a day. And if you're trying to decide between so many different things, you will fail, right? Paralysis, analysis, too much confusion. So the same thing happens when you're jumping from one program to the next, jumping from one fad diet to the next based on what someone tells you. So you have to kind of get blinders on and commit to one plan that's done for you, that shows you everything you need all in one place. All right. So to take this a step further, people often set resolutions this time of year. I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to eat better. Unfortunately, they're too general. You aren't really sure what to do next. You do nothing, right? So we want you to get crystal clear on what you want. And I like to do it in 90-day blocks. Paul, welcome. Diego as well has also joined us. So what do you do with this? Well, one big yearly goal is nice, but you need to break it down further. Start with a 90-day goal. So let's say, and make it just one fitness focused goal. Maybe you got a personal or career focused goal as well. But I'm a fitness guy, so that's where I'm staying. So in this case, let's say that's to lose 10 pounds by April 1st, right? Good, you've got that down on paper. Now, the more important part is to set your daily actions that are going to move you towards that goal, right? So make sure these are measurable and the things that are going to make the biggest difference for you, right? So if you're a big nighttime snacker, set a rule of no snacking after 9 p.m. Don't have the junk in the house. If you can't get to the gym regularly, set a goal to exercise 4 times a week. And make sure you put these in your calendar and make them non-negotiable. So come up with no less than 4, but maybe no more than 5, somewhere in there that are really going to move you forward, right? So drop your 90-day goal in the comments, because that micro commitment of just putting it out there publicly can go a long way. So as soon as you see this, set your goal down below. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, right? Lose 10 pounds, lose a couple inches, something measurable. And even if you don't necessarily reach this, by focusing on the action steps to get here, you're going to get as close as you possibly can, right? Your body's not going to work like a perfect math formula, and you may have some life stress that gets in the way, but if you focus on your action steps, you will get closer to it than ever before, right? So make sure that that calendar notification in your phone tells you daily a reminder of where you're headed, where you want to be by April 1st. This is how I set goals, and every avenue of my life always works best in 90-day blocks. So again, we do want to play the long game. This is where most people go wrong. If your diet is a 6-week challenge, what are you going to be doing on week 52? So you need a plan that's going to be something you can consistently follow for a full year, if not more. So a bonus strategy I like to use to make sure I follow through is a reverse bet, right? And there was a book called The Black Male Diet. This is an extreme example, but for the purposes of this this presentation, it makes sense. So the author put $5,000 in escrow with a lawyer, and if he didn't reach his weight loss goal by the end of the year, he would have to pay out that money to the American Nazi Party, an organization he obviously didn't support. So it was one of those things where the law states we are more resistant to losing things than gaining things, right? So you have to kind of commit to it in some way. So that could be putting money into a coach, right? There's different ways to go about this, but typically a financial commitment makes you follow through. Jordan, Bob, and Jason, welcome. So this is an important thing. Have a reverse bet in place. There's various ways to go about this. So another point, you need to attach enough commitment to the outcome you want to achieve, right? Let's say there's two buildings here. One is on fire and the other is perfectly safe. You're in the safe one, but your family's in the burning one. The fact that your family's in that burning one, you're going to go across, right? No questions asked. So you need to have a big, strong why to keep you focused. Otherwise, you're just going to dabble in it, lose a few pounds here and there, put it back on, rinse and repeat. So what is your big why, right? Because the stronger it is, easier everything will be to follow through on. You're going to go to the gym because you know that supports your big vision. So what's your ride? Why? I'm going on low sleep here. I keep fumbling my words. So drop that in the comments. What's your reason? The guy on the couch here, right? He has a young daughter. This is a story from a client of mine. His daughter comes running into the room, eyes wide open. You can see the love in her eyes, right? He's giving the love back to her, but he knows if he doesn't change some fundamental habits, he's not going to be around to see her get married, right? To watch her walk her down the aisle. She doesn't want to have tears of sadness on her wedding day because her father is not there to see her get married, right? Take that next step in her life. So if you're a father, certainly that's an easy one to be the best possible version of yourself for your kids. That's enough reason, in my book, to follow through on a nutrition plan, right? If you're at a point where you need to lose that weight, your doctor's telling you got high blood pressure, you will do what it takes. So make sure you have a reason. It doesn't have to be family orientated. It could be getting a girlfriend, right? Getting more energy so you can pursue that promotion at work. All this stuff kind of rolls into one another, but it starts with you determining what that why is. So if you got the balls, kahunas, to drop your why in the comments. What's my why is the fact that I have 2 young daughters and I want to be the best possible version of myself for them, right? I want to be able to keep up with them, play with them, be a really engaged father, right? So that's my why. So the third and final barrier is that motivation, because it's very easy to be motivated for 2 weeks, especially this time of year. Go all in on a plan, don't deviate, but something happens, right, at work. You get stressed, you skip a workout, and that cascades into going back into old habits, falling off, and everything starts over, right? The resolutioners, those guys that join the gym, get super motivated, and then February rolls around, and they are gone. So what you need is a plan that shows you exactly what changes to make, and then you see the differences happening in real time. Because that's the compound effect. When you see the fruits of your labor, you will keep going. Because every choice, your brain kind of does a cost benefit. And if you feel you're not getting anything out of your workouts right now, out of your nutrition plan, something's wrong. Because you should be seeing some results. Even if it's a pound, you maybe feel stronger in your workouts, more energy, etc. Okay? So make sure you're tracking progress and celebrating those wins. So how to do this right is to focus on those small victories day to day. So maybe week 1, you just simply take a walk break at work. Once a day, 10 minutes, get it in. A week goes by, it's habitual, right? Week 2, you look at getting more sleep. You're in bed by 10 instead of 11. Week 3, you start going to the gym once a week. That's all you need at first, right? So everyone's at a different stage in their journey, but I'm starting at ground zero here. How to make habits stick and get on a sustainable plan. I like that comment from Jason. It's all about the kids, for sure. So what you may need to do in the early going is give yourself a pep talk, right? Why am I going for this walk? Well, it's important because I have these 20 pounds to lose. I want to be around for my kids. Walking helps me burn calories, keeps my heart healthy. And I know I can do it because I walk all the time in shorter spurts, but I walk from the parking spot to the office, so I'm capable, right? Little pep talk. This stuff seems kind of woo-woo, but it actually works. However, if your pep talk doesn't work, put on the Rocky theme and do it anyway. Force the habit. Have your environment set up to force the habit. So that could be your gym clothes in the car, ready to go, so you don't head home before you hit the gym, right? Get some inspirational music going if that's your style. Because the thing about fitness is you're planting seeds today, workouts, right? Making the right choice with nutrition, and it's delayed gratification. It's not instant. You're not going to obviously see the fat melting off before your very eyes. So you're going to have that long view about all this stuff, which makes it difficult because we are in a world that celebrates instant gratification, right? Your phone goes off. You get that quick dopamine hit. Junk food gives you an immediate hit. All this stuff that kind of is built around instant stuff. But delayed gratification is where the secret sauce is. So on that point, every choice is either moving you closer or further away from your goal, whether that's weight, whatever it is. So in the moment, remember that bad choice, even if it's a one-off thing, is going to set you back. So if you can kind of make this conscious decision in the moment, it'll help you. So I just wanted a quick bonus, Barry, because I hear this all the time. I'm destined to be a fat kid. I've got these bad genes. It's not the case for me anymore, even though it was, right? Forgot to put this picture in my bare ass. That's awkward. So change is possible on a genetic level, cellular level, right? I thought I was destined to be a fat kid until I started to change on a fundamental level. So I'm going to get off this slide because I'm looking at myself. So what it boils down to is the mindset, right? There's Tigger and Eeyore, these two. Winnie the Pooh, right? A Tigger is always looking at the bright side. The glass is half full. My genetics aren't going to be a barrier because I'm going to see it through. Whereas an Eeyore says, oh, I can't do that. This won't work. The glass is half empty. And you know you've got some Eeyores in your life. You've got some Tiggers too. So you want to definitely lean towards the Tigger because the Eeyores are going to suck you down and wear you out. And you're not going to get the results you want because mentally you're not in a place to succeed. So I do like to address some genetic shortcomings with supplements. It's a very individualized thing. So I'm not going to make any specific recommendations here. But low thyroid you can address either medically or through over-the-counter stuff. Same with testosterone. Boron is a good example of how to raise your test levels. So you do have to, you can kind of bridge the gap between those genetic elite and the average if you know where your shortcomings are. All right, there is a picture of a dog and another dog's butt. Just as a pattern interrupt here, give yourself a little breather. Shake it out. We got maybe 5 minutes more for the rest of this. So what this looks like is, right, pretty simple. 5 things. 2 square meals, 2 snacks, or 3 square meals and 1 snack. I only prep 1 meal a day, like I said. Work out 3-4 times a week. I'm in the 4 times strength and then 1 hit every second week at this point. But I do like intervals here and there, right? It's the seasoning. You can overdo it though. Definitely want to manage stress and hormones. Without being in an optimal place hormonally, you will not get the results you want. It's like driving with a flat tire, essentially. And then I do like fasting. There's no real magic to it, but it's an easy calorie control method that I use all the time. And then again, like I mentioned before, accountability. workout partner, support group, coach, someone that's going to keep you going when life shit hits the fan, you know? All right, so I wanted to introduce this primarily for the clients who are already in the program. I've got a new challenge going for next week. There's a little reset this week too, but this is the full bore where everyone's going to get a custom plan, one-to-one coaching. So there will be 4 spots open in this for non-group members at this point, but I want to lay it out there for everybody who's in or out. Oh yeah, so I threw some testimonials in here because people seem to forget that I've coached lots of people to success, and it's the next logical step if you're in the free group. So Steve here obviously had a dramatic transformation. Not saying that'll be the case for everyone, but certainly when you commit like he did, success follows. Neva was in a wedding party, actually had to order a smaller bridesmaid dress, big changes in her measurements. Curtis, you may have heard of, this was 2 years ago now, but 45 pounds all told. Again, his wedding was his big why, so you have to know what your why is. Josh more recently lost 21 pounds. He is killing it. He's in the group. He's going to be in the New Year's resolution challenge as well. It starts next week. So I just got an email from Ken, who lost 35 pounds working with me, went out on his own. I gave him a blueprint to follow. He's down 55 pounds now, 6 inches. So what this really boils down to is his last comment here, not having to adjust his seatbelt, compliments. He can now wear jeans and coats that were hanging up in his closet, collecting dust, right? And that last point, can walk upstairs, not be out of breath. Those are the little non-scale victories. Corinne, she had 2 little babies, twins, as a matter of fact, and then 6 weeks after, had lost 15 pounds. Ron got ripped. This may not be your goal, but if it is, we can make that happen for you as well. Or if you're a cookie monster and still want a plan that's going to allow for your cookies, Paul is proof that that can work as well. Trent lost 6 inches. He actually, on the left, he was doing a more intensive plan. He was working out 5 days a week, hour-and-a-half workouts, cardio after his workouts, prepping 6 meals a day. And then on the right, simplified plan with me. Better results, less inflammation, as you can see. And Jeff again got ripped as well. So you can join me. You get a shred or a gain option, depending on what you're looking to do. We do get cheat meals, absolutely. Short, efficient workouts. All the things I mentioned throughout this presentation. And then we give out monthly prizes to top performers in the group. So you can't really hide, but it's good for accountability. May he rest in peace to this guy, by the way. There's also some bonuses I'm throwing in for everyone that's in the group challenge that starts next week. The golden tickets, as it were. My rapid fat loss blueprint. This is something you use prior to a vacation of some kind, or you want to drop some quick weight. Everyone gets my recipe book, 200 plus recipes in there. A day in the life PDF from me of what I do day to day, every half hour to optimize my life. That's yours as well. Also, I'm going to be paying and shipping out a paperback copy of my Amazon book, Transformation Diet, which kind of supports the plan as a whole. And then if you've had a physical at any point in the last year, I will review your blood work and offer my insights to help you optimize those areas that you're low in or suboptimal in, right? Like I mentioned before, you can improve your quality of life through supplementation. You can address your shortcomings, just like I did with testosterone. So you might be thinking, oh, timing isn't right. It's expensive. Oh, I'm a busy guy, right? Well, there's never really a perfect time. But if this got you to a place where you're comfortable wearing a mankini, not that you would, but that you're at a point where you're finally comfortable with your body, can take your shirt off, then what would that be worth to you? I mean, that's a no-brainer for myself and my clients. This can save you time, energy, and give you that confidence you want, right? So what's all included? We do live video trainings like this in the group with the real secret sauce stuff. I give you a custom diet based on a questionnaire you provide to me. And we make adjustments to that every week so that there's no plateaus, no setbacks. Then you get training plans built into an app on your phone. These are based on the Men's Health article I wrote with supersets. The focus set you up with a Thunder Buddy, someone you can reach out to when you're struggling. But there's also that private group where it's just me and 25 guys. No one can hide in that group. And then the Schmied MT guarantee, which means you're going to lose 2 inches off your belly by the end of this in a short time frame. That's important to you. I'm assuming you want to lose some inches. It's a common problem for men to have a bit of an overhang, have some belly, and that's what we focus on. And then the four bonus gifts I mentioned as well will be thrown in. So again, that could be you. I always use this Mankini photo. You'll be more jacked than Borat, but you'll have his confidence, which is just as important. So all you have to do is go to that link on my website, /online-coaching, book in a call. I mean, even if you don't take the next step, this call will give you some value. Actually, there's 3 openings because David signed up this morning. So 25 max. So that means there's 3 left. No pressure. I'm going to be providing lots of good stuff in the free group here for the next few days. But this is the challenge that starts next week into the middle of February, where we are going to hold you accountable to losing 2+ pounds a week, inches off your waist, and giving you that confidence, that optimization that you want, right? So you guys know what I'm about. Most of you, in fact, 3 of you are in the group already. That starts next week, but a few of you aren't. So if you have questions, obviously, private message me on Facebook. That's essentially it. So questions, drop them below. Make sure if you don't know your 90-day goal, make sure you set that before the end of the week and put it as a calendar notification in your phone. Without clear outcome goals to set, you're kind of going, you're a ship without a paddle, essentially. You don't know where you're going to end up. So you need to set those goals and make sure there's some accountability in the mix as well. So welcome Dan and Zook. Jumped on late, so you two may want to go back and review this because we are 20 minutes in now, and you've missed some details. So that's it, guys. I will post a replay up in the group so that you can kind of circle back if you want. Like I said, I will go back to the previous slide. There are, in fact, 3 openings for the January New Year's Revolution. Not resolution, revolution. This is better. Resolutions suck. Revolution challenge, where you're going to get workouts, nutrition, a group format that makes it impossible to fail, because I will be pushing you every step of the way. All right. Much love, guys. Happy New Year. Tomorrow I will send out a second strategy, I believe, for the Reset Challenge, which is ongoing in this group. And that is all she wrote. Have a good one.